What's up, guys? Welcome to Grant Speaks Canes. We're going to jump right into this Joe Rose interview of Mario Cristobal. Let's get it.
Everything switched from NFL football and the Dolphins right over to the Canes getting in. And, a lot of us were surprised, didn't know which way it was going to go. What was yesterday like for you around 12 o'clock?
After the announcement, awesome. Leading up to the announcement, we were confident, but, whenever it's not completely in your hands and left to decision makers, there's always some anxiety in there. But you know what, man? You think of the meaning of actually playing the game and settling it on the field, and we just felt that at the end of the day, the decision makers, by their own criteria, we're not going to let that one aspect, because that's not a data point, that is the data point. You know what I mean? We always felt that they were not going to let that, if it came down to us in Notre Dame. So fired up beyond words, but right back to work, brother.
Yeah.
I can't speak for how Notre Dame feels about Alabama getting in over them, but they should not be mad about us getting in over them. And I keep seeing people say Miami head-to-head. Well, it wasn't just the head-to-head that played a factor. 4 common opponents, Miami won those games by more than what Notre Dame did, 3 or 4 of those. The schedule was about the same. The record was about the same. It wasn't just Miami beating Notre Dame. It was everything that was put into it. And then when you looked at the 2 go head-to-head, Miami won. So I'm glad they did the right thing. Shout out to the committee for finally doing the right thing.
Well, there's been so much talk about it was like I thought Notre Dame, Miami are going to play each other. There's been so much talk about who should get in or both should get in or both are going to be out or what's going to happen. So Notre Dame is out, and they're obviously not happy. Alabama gets a 3rd loss in an SEC championship game, but they had a bad loss to Florida State. Everybody seems to forget about early season. 3 losses. What were your thoughts on Notre Dame out and Bama being in?
All great teams. That's my first thought. And, again, down the stretch, we felt we did have the advantage because we had the head-to-head and we had the common opponent with Alabama. But, again, man, you watch all these different teams in different parts of the season. They all show they can play elite football, and they all have at some point in time or another have stubbed their toe also. So, no, it's an imperfect, world as it relates to football, but everybody's got an opportunity, and you know how it is, man. You get your chance. I mean, anyone could win it.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing that I hate about how everything played out is now Notre Dame they become the we would have team. Yeah. They become the we would have team. Now that, because I was hoping Miami and Notre Dame both got in and we could play again in the playoffs. I really wanted that matchup because I'm not as high on at Notre Dame as a lot of people, and I think Miami would beat them. Well, now that Miami gets in, Alabama gets in, Notre Dame now will turn into if we were in the playoffs, we would have beat this team. If we were in the playoffs, we would have beat that team. They bailed out of the bowl game, so now you can't look at the bowl game to see how good it's just going to be even more annoying now that they didn't get in.
Hey, Mario, I got to go back to when this thing kind of started. You and I had some interesting conversations about, man, it's patient. You're getting blasted pretty good, and nobody was real patient about letting you get some recruiting classes in and get the transfer portal rolling the way you wanted to upgrade this team and get the players you wanted. And here you are, 4 years into this thing, another 10-2 record, but this time going to the playoffs. It's got to be really rewarding for talking about it. And this was kind of the goal of where you thought it would start to turn around, and here it is.
Well, it's always been Miami for me. I mean, come on. I'll never, can never, will never deny. It's always been that. But when you're in the business and you're coaching and, we're out west and we had just, wrapped up, won the conference 2 out of 3 times, finished number 5 in the country the previous year. And then you look at the amount of work that has to be done. That's what you have to wait, because it's not going to be pretty, especially early. There's going to be some unbelievably painful moments that no one can understand and no one can ever fathom. But I never I don't care about that. So that's never affected me. It's like not part of the process. Like noise and BS. That's not it. It's all about the people. And I always have believed, loved, and trusted the people, the community of everything University of Miami. And as long as we brought in the right people, there was nothing to stop it. And we're progressing. We've reached now another step, but again, there's a lot of work to do and a lot more to accomplish, but it certainly was a rewarding day.
I'm glad this football team has something to show for all the hard work, the hard times, everything they've put in and grinded for. I'm so happy because as a fan base, or as me being a fan, I literally was starting to lose hope, because in my mind, I know Mario Cristobal was the guy for this job, and the job's not done. But I knew we got somebody who loves Miami, who played at Miami, who won championships at Miami, who talks about hard work, who could bring in talent. And when we did make the playoffs last year, then this year we lose to SMU. I'm about to sneeze. Give me a second. I'm sorry. The thought creeps into your mind like, damn, if a guy who recruits, a guy who talks about hard work, who puts in countless hours, and who loves this program, if he can't get us to the postseason, can anybody? Those thoughts run through your mind. So it's good to see after the SMU game, you reel off 4 wins, you in dominating fashion, you get into the playoffs, and you get rewarded for all the hard work that they put in. That's what I'm happy. That's why I'm so happy. And I'm excited for everybody on this staff, all the coaches and everything, man. It's great to see because y'all know it's been tough.
Before we get to some other business, because as you know, college football never sleeps. You went from waiting for the playoff games yesterday, the conference championship games. And, oh, by the way, a couple days before you got National Signing Day, which really took a background around the country, but obviously very important. You had a lot of top guys, and what really stood out for me was, man, you really hit the whole country on this recruiting class.
Amen. Another top 10 class, number 6 in terms of by player. So quality of class. So it's and we're not done. Obviously, some more opportunities arise. There's some portal opportunities will come with it also. But yeah, this was our deepest and most talented class. 29 of the 30 are already set to come in January, which is huge. Allowing guys to the opportunity to come in here and begin just diving into our systems right away, getting acclimated. Because you do, Joe, you have to develop guys just at a much faster rate now due to how much more transient the sport has become. So an awesome signing class. A lot of hard work by a lot of people in this building.
If you're a Miami fan, listen to what he just said. We got so much going on. We got Mario Cristobal talking about a top 10 recruiting class that he's recruited all across America. Some great local guys. A lot of those guys are going to be ready in January. We got Miami going to the playoffs. We got Ruben Bain, Malachi Tony accepting awards. What a time, man. What a time, man. What a time to be a Miami Hurricane fan. Wow.
Mario, you told me when this thing all started that the recruiting out of high school is still going to be the most important thing, although we've seen how important it is these transfer portal classes are. Do you still feel that same way? It starts with high school?
I do. I do, and I believe that now there's so many different ways to supplement your roster. You don't flinch when it comes to finding a way to improve your team with not only talent acquisition, but character acquisition as well, DNA acquisition. So whether it be here, Mongolia, we're going to go wherever it needs to go to find and bring in the best players.
Hey, injury-wise, now getting ready for this game coming up here, less than 2 weeks away. Let's start with Keontae Scott, who just had one hell of a season. I know how you feel about him. close to coming back. What are your thoughts here this morning?
He's getting closer. I mean, he was running yesterday and looked good. Running and playing are, of course, two different animals, but the progress is real. David Blaze doing great. CJ Daniels now looks like he's 100%. He played at about 80 in our last game last week. Obviously, you saw Fletcher back. You saw Mesdor back. OJ Frederic back. So it's we're getting healthier at the right time, and we still have 10, 12 days to get even more healthy.
Oh man, I'm so happy about that because do y'all see how Ahmad Modens and Justin Sky has been playing? And then you're gonna add David Blay? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I used to pray for defensive line depth like this. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. You got CJ, you got OJ coming back. Hopefully we get Keontae Scott, but I wouldn't expect them versus Texas A&M. When I really think about it, I don't know if he's going to play against Texas A&M.
I got to ask you, because this was asked to me. So what happened, in your opinion, over the last 4 weeks, when those games finished, especially that Pittsburgh game, I think everybody, no matter what happened in the middle of the year or all this talk that was going on, everybody said, damn, that looks like a playoff team that's got a chance to go deep into the playoffs. What happened, in your opinion, with the group?
We got back from SMU, and we went right to a staff meeting that next day, and it was the entire focus of it. It was what we're going to pour every ounce of energy into just improving every ounce of energy into our players and not allowing it to get negative, right? You're 6-2, you were 2-2 in conference. You have a chance as long as you hit on all cylinders. And when we got with the players, the best meeting ever that we had, I thought, turned things. We took all the clips from the Notre Dame game, Florida State, Florida, USF, all those games, right, to start the season, and put them on a reel and just turned off the lights and just stated to our guys, let's realize who the F we are. Okay, not remember. Remember is going way back in that. Let's realize who we are and watch. And for 10, 12, 15 minutes, lights off, no audio, no one talking. We just watched, and I think it hit everybody right between the eyes. It was over, turned the lights back on, went to work, and haven't looked back since.
Yeah. One thing.
Guys, I listened to probably, I would say, 10 to 15 coaches' interviews a week just because I love to hear little things like that. Because I'm wondering, when the whole world is on your neck, even your own fans, even Grant Speaks Canes, you're yelling after the SMU game, why does this happen to us? Why? Everybody around you is going at you. How does Mario get this team back to, as he said, realize who they are? He says first, and listen to what he said. They had a coaches meeting first. What I'm learning about becoming a parent is, instead of asking why your kid is doing this, first I got to look at myself as a parent and say, am I responding properly? Am I being a proper parent? And then I can go and parent my child. That's what I'm learning as my daughter gets older and older. As a coach, it's the same way. First, we have the coaches meeting, and we lock in with the coaches. Then, instead of, while the whole world is tearing these young men down, what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to give them a rah-rah speech. We're going to get to work, but first, I'm going to make them realize who they are. And I'm going to show them clips, not from last year. I'm not going to show them clips from the great Miami Hurricane teams. I'm going to show them clips of themselves. And I can only imagine some of the clips that were shown. The Ruben Bain Notre Dame interception, the C.J. Bailey one-handed interception, the Carson Beck zone keeper USF, the Josh Moore. I can only imagine. And we've seen how they responded. Salute to this coaching staff, man.
Thing I think we've all noticed about this team, it's really good in every area for the first time. And I'm not taking away from last year, but you had problems in certain areas of the team. But this one, it's not maybe as strong in certain positions, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't take a backseat too far, and it just looks so stable, so solid in every part of this team, including the kicking game.
Certainly, I mean, a lot of work, man, over the last few years on just getting the pieces and trying to build quality depth. But it's more than quality depth. It's legitimate guys that can, take the reins when the guys in front of them take off, or can do it. God forbid there should be an injury, and that's hard in college football, man. You can't pull guys off the waiver wire during the course of the season, right? You have to get them, and then you have to develop them. And they're 18, 19, 20 years old, and we know how that is, man. But you know what? We're very honest, straightforward. We work our butts off. We do everything like we do in our own household, which is not easy. Holy crap, it's not easy, But we emphasize the right things. We get after it. We hold people accountable, but it starts with holding ourselves accountable. And I think when you set the pace like that, I think everything else falls in line.
All right, going to Texas A&M and getting ready to play against one of the better dual threat quarterbacks in the game, and Marcel Reed, who's had a great year, put up some throwing numbers like Carson Beck, but he can also really take off and go. You faced a couple of those kind of guys this year. You face a lot of them actually in the ACC. What's your thoughts on him?
I think he's a different level player, total Heisman Trophy candidate at the highest level. He can do it all. He can sling it around. He could hit you with the intermediate game, the quick game, but launch it downfield. Very accurate, extremely athletic, extending plays, improvising. He's got an awesome offensive line. They beat people up front. That's a big part of their success, and they do that on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They're top 10, 15, 20 in just about every offense and defensive category, and they're really explosive. That's one thing. When you watch film on teams, you always want to see, what's their explosive factor, right? Do they have the capability of changing games in one play? And they have guys at several positions that can do so, starting with him, but Concepcion, of course, right? Mario Craver, Cassius Howell. I mean, they lead the country in sacks per game. They're just disruptive and explosive in all facets and on special teams as well. So an awesome opportunity for our football program.
Yeah.
Yes. As I said in the last interview, I do like this matchup for Miami, but Texas A&M is a good team. You got a dynamic quarterback in Marcel Reed. We're getting healthy. They're getting healthy. They've had some troubles with their running back position, dinged up. I wonder if they're going to get a couple of those guys back because they're going to get the same break we get. So yes, our guys are getting healthy, but Texas A&M guys are getting healthy as well. I believe the key thing in this game is going to be tackling, because I don't think Marcel Reed can consistently hit the deep ball accurately, but what he does hit is the short and intermediate routes. And if he hits KC on a 5-yard out and we don't tackle, it could be a 80-yard after the catch type of run. Same thing with Mario Craver. Their third string wide receiver is pretty good too. I really like their wide receiver core. Their defensive line is good. Their linebacking core is decent. And their secondary, I would say, is their weakness. Mario and Elko, they're very similar in my book. It's going to be interesting to see how the game plays out. But that's just my little quick synopsis.
Coach, I appreciate you coming on this morning, man. This been great. It's great. It's great for the program. This is obviously the goal, is to get to these playoffs and get one of those 12 spots and to finally get there. And it's nice to know that a big win early in the season against Notre Dame really made a big difference. So congratulations, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thank you.
I appreciate you, Joe. Come by for practice and go Canes.
All right. Hey, Coach, I appreciate that. Hey, Mario.
All right, guys. I appreciate you, man. It's been a great couple days. As I said, Miami has the top 10 recruiting class. They're making the playoffs. They got players winning awards. We really got to just enjoy this, because it's been a minute. Hey, y'all have a wonderful Monday. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.